likely don't give shingles a second thought until you have it. You might think the virus is something that only impacts people your grandparents' age.
But WKRG News 5's Cherish Lombard found out the hard way. That's not always true.
The shingles virus doesn't care how old you are. Even children can get it. You can be in your 30s. That's when it happened to me. I woke up one morning and couldn't open my left eye. Then a blister formed. Then more blisters spreading up my forehead, into my scalp, and down the left side of my face. That resulted in hospitalization for weeks with excruciating pain shooting from those areas down my spine. Anyone who's had chickenpox will never forget those horrible, incredibly itchy blisters. Shingles blisters are very painful. Then, as they're healing, they leave you with an unitchable itch. If you had chickenpox or the chickenpox vaccine, you could get shingles.
Once a patient has had chickenpox, then the virus will lie dormant within the dorsal root ganglia, within the nerves, and then later, whenever a patient is having an outbreak, it activates and then travels down the nerves to the skin.
The shingles virus affects more people than you may realize. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the virus attacks about 1 million people in the U.S. every year. Dr. Ashley Butts-Wilkerson with Infirmary Health says an outbreak is typically caused by something that affects almost every single one of us every single day.
Any type of stress tends to do it.
The virus can also spread through blister fluid, which Dr. Butts-Wilkerson says can live on solid surfaces like a doorknob for up to 24 hours. Carrie Meredith was 20 when she was diagnosed with shingles. She initially thought it was sunburn, then later a stabbing headache followed by blisters.
They started traveling down my face, and it was on the right side of my face, and it was right above my eye at this point.
Doctors put her on steroids and an antiviral medication. Still, they were concerned she may lose vision in that eye.
I went to bed that night, woke up the next morning, and it had attacked my eye overnight. It was blurry. I could see light, but if I had closed my left eye, I could not make out anybody in the room. Over the next 3 or 4 months, it was back and forth at the doctor. Sometimes my vision was a little bit better. Sometimes it was a little bit worse.
And the pain.
I described it as a lightning bolt. It would come out of nowhere, bring you to your knees. I would be in tears.
The majority of shingles cases, including Carrie's and mine, start with a bad headache or muscle aches that won't ease, feeling sluggish and fever, then blisters. Dr. Butts-Wilkerson says don't ignore those signs. See a doctor immediately.
We tend to get better results with our treatment if we start it within that first 48 to 72 hours of an actual shingles outbreak.
The longer you wait to see a doctor, the more damage the virus can cause, like Ramsay-Hunt syndrome, the drooping of one side of the face. You can see here on my face. It can also cause permanent nerve damage. And if the rash is anywhere on your head, immediate treatment could save you from lifelong eye complications like blindness. Your doctor may also recommend the Shingles vaccine to help lower your risk of getting shingles or getting it again.
Shingles is approved for those who are 50 and older, and it's also approved for patients who are 19 and older if they have an immunocompromising condition.
12 years after her shingles outbreak, Carrie Meredith still can't see as well as she once could.
Most of the time when I'm trying to focus on something, you'll see me shift my head just a little bit so my left eye can focus in.
She tells me she's used to that now, and these days she's focusing on her family and reducing stress, and also helping the children at Faith Academy who know her as their favorite guidance counselor stay stress-free so they never have to know what it feels like to have shingles. Don't stress. It's easier said than done, but now every time I feel myself getting stressed, I think about this and how much harm it really can do to your body. Cherish Lombard, WKRG News 5.